Which is the best accent for IELTS speaking? Well, in this video, I will tell you the answer and also give you some tips and tools to help you improve your pronunciation in a fun and engaging way so that you can go from being a struggling IELTS student to a successful IELTS speaker. Let's do it. Hello, this is Keith from the Keith Speaking Academy, here to help you speak better English, give better answers and get a higher score on the IELTS speaking test. Now, did you know that everyone has an accent? From the Queen to Taylor Swift, from Boris Johnson to, well, me, right? Yes, even I have an accent. Can you guess what my accent is? Well, I have a British accent for sure. I think certainly more a northern British accent. However, I don't really have a Mancunian accent, right? Although I'm from Manchester, I don't really have that local accent, but definitely northern British. What about you? What accent do you have? So let's look at this question then. Which is the best accent for IELTS speaking? So first of all, there are two kinds of accent, right? There's the standard varieties of English, and then we've got local accents. So the standard varieties of English, right, include the generally accepted varieties of English around the world, including North American, United States and Canada, New Zealand and Australia, Britain, Irish, African, some countries in Africa. And also, of course, as well as these standard varieties, there are many countries that have English as an official language alongside other mother tongues. You know, for example, India, Singapore, Philippines, and about 50 other countries. So in addition to the standard varieties, we've also got local accents. So a local accent, for example, if you are French, when you speak English with a French accent, right? Or if you're Vietnamese, you'll speak English with a Vietnamese accent. If you're Russian, you'll speak with a Russian accent. So basically your L1, your mother tongue, is influencing the sounds that you make because you're making your local sounds when you speak English. Now, when it comes to accent and IELTS, there is a lot of confusion. So let me just bust a few myths, right? A myth is something that's not true, but many people think it's true, right? First of all, IELTS is British, so you only hear British accents in the test. Nonsense. That's not true. IELTS, yes, is a British test, but in the listening, you will hear all sorts of accents, American, Australian, Irish, mainly from the standard varieties I spoke about, but possibly some local accents as well if they're a proficient speaker. Nowadays, of course, 90% of English is spoke by non-native speakers. So we have a variety of accents. Secondly, in IELTS speaking, you must speak with a British accent. Nonsense! It's not true, right? You do not have to speak with a British accent. Thank goodness. And number three is that in IELTS speaking, a British accent is better than an American accent. British accent or American accent? British? American. Nonsense again, right? Absolutely terrible, right? The fact is, it doesn't matter. Okay, so come on, Keith, stop beating about the bush. Which is the best accent for IELTS speaking? Right. In IELTS speaking, accent doesn't matter. Okay? So long as, provided that you can be understood and have good control of the English pronunciation features. Things like sounds, vowels, consonants, word stress, sentence stress, connected speech, intonation, and so on. Now, I've made a video, you can check it out up here, all about the IELTS speaking pronunciation features to understand those better. So that's the simple answer, right? Whether you have an American accent, a British accent, a French accent, Vietnamese or Russian, it doesn't really matter, right? Accent is not evaluated. It's the control of your pronunciation that is evaluated. But there will be a problem if you mispronounce your sounds, if you mispronounce vowels, like you say mag instead of mug, or if you say mug instead of mag, magazine. If you drop consonants, right? You say she talk a lot instead of she talks a lot. If you have the wrong stress in a word, right? Have you seen my camera? My camera? Yes, my camera. Oh, your camera. Wrong word stress, right? All of these, and including different intonation. Anything that leads to a miscommunication is going to be a problem and will affect your score. It's interesting. I mean, some students do ask me, should I be learning an American accent or a British accent? It's a difficult question. I think if you're a beginner for your English, I would choose one as your main model, right? Because that will influence the way you learn English. Try and listen to more American or British. It doesn't matter in today's world which accent you have. And as you become an intermediate and above student, you're going to be exposed to so many accents. The reality is very few students learn the American pronunciation or the British pronunciation, right? The vast majority of students keep their local accent. And that is absolutely fine. You can be a Band 9 IELTS speaker, but still have a local accent. Absolutely. I know plenty of people like that. So if you want, keep your local accent and be proud of it. You don't have to try to be British or American. I mean, if you want to, you can, right? It's very interesting. I think there's a lot around identity and accent, right? An interesting story. I once had a girlfriend, between you and me, right? A long time ago, before I got married, I went out with a girl who was not British. And she spoke English really well. And when we spoke together, she had this beautiful, almost British accent. But I noticed when we were with friends who were her nationality, but also speaking English, she reverted or changed to her local accent. And I said, that's really strange. Why do you do that? Why do you speak a more British English with me, but with your friends and me, you have this kind of local accent? And she said, well, because if I try and sound British with my friends, they think I'm trying to be arrogant, snobbish, better than them, kind of superior. And it makes me feel outside the group. So if I want to be in the group, I speak with that local accent, right? Which is really interesting. The identity we have will influence how much we change our accent, right? So a lot of students don't want to change their accent. They want to keep the local accent because that's a part of their identity. And that's great. I'm a bit different. When I speak other languages, like French or Spanish, I love to get as native-like as I can, because for me, the identity is a little bit of a mask. It's like I'm being another person, a different person. And so it's not that I'm different, but I kind of change a little bit, almost like there's a Spanish Keith and a French Keith and an English Keith. And it helps me with the language, having this kind of almost a mask when I speak the foreign language. It's the role of identity in language learning. Interesting. Key message is, if you have a local accent, keep it, be proud of it if you want to keep it. It's absolutely fine. You can still become an IELTS Band 9. Let's talk a bit about why pronunciation is so difficult. and then later solutions on how to improve it. I think there are three main things that make pronunciation difficult. Not difficult, let's say a fun challenge. First of all is the mother tongue interference. So your mother tongue, the language you've spoken all your life, has conditioned your muscles. You use your lips, your tongue, your jaw, even your voice in a certain way. You've done that for years. And so it's really hard to change all of a sudden, right? To break the mold. Very, very difficult to do. There may be sounds in English that don't even exist in your mother tongue, and so you can't quite find them. There's also, secondly, the issue of identity, as I mentioned before. A lot of people feel, either consciously or subconsciously, that they're losing their identity when they change their accent or pronunciation. And so they want to keep their own pronunciation, speak with their local accent, even if it means there's a communication breakdown. And thirdly, lack of feedback is the problem. So a lot of people will practice and practice on their own. And because nobody is telling them, listen, that's not right. You're not making the right sound. The intonation's wrong. You carry on making the same mistakes, carry on with the bad pronunciation. So that feedback is really important. So how can you improve your English pronunciation? Oh yes, well spotted. It was getting cold. Two things, right? You need practice and feedback. Practice because you need to retrain your muscles. You've been using the same muscles for years to produce a certain sound. You need to retrain your muscles, your lips, your tongue, your jaw, your voice, all of that to start getting the right sounds. And you need to practice the sounds at a sound level, at the word level, and at the phrase level. 3 different levels you need to be practicing, right, to get good pronunciation. You can practice on your own. That's great. From an output point of view, then you're practicing, you're speaking out. That's good. If you can practice with somebody else, then that's even better. And with a teacher, then ideal, because the teacher will then give you feedback. And that's the second thing, right? You need feedback so you can see where your mistakes are and how to improve. If you practice with friends, they don't always give you feedback. A teacher is ideal, but of course I understand a lot of people don't have access to a teacher. So you can get feedback from audio and listening, or even better, from certain apps that correct your pronunciation and give you feedback. I actually think a mixture of all of these is the best solution, right? On your own, listening, maybe with an app, recording, with friends and with a teacher. All of those are the best. The feedback is a key thing. Now, I've looked at a lot of mobile apps, pronunciation apps, and dear oh dear, there's a lot of rubbish out there. I mean, I've tried a lot of apps and got frustrated. Often at the voice recognition, it's just not accurate. 3.
Incorrect. Please say that again.
3.
Incorrect. Please say that again.
3.
Incorrect. Please say that again.
Or that it's the technology is just driving, it's over gamified, lots of flashing lights, but you're not really learning. So I'm not a big fan. However, recently I did come across a very, very interesting pronunciation app. That, to all credit to the guys who created it, has changed the way I think about it. And this app is called ELSA, right? And you're right? I mean, I do spend a lot of time exploring different tools for students to improve their learning. And I'm pleased that I've discovered this one. And there are 2 key things that I really like about it. I love the technology and I love the pedagogy. So the technology is, for me, it's the voice recognition and the algorithm, if you like, inside that helps give you feedback. This one, ELSA, has got, I am told, cutting edge technology, but I don't know about the technology, but I can see how it works, and it's really good. So it recognizes sounds, but also words and also phrases, right? Which we talked about, which is really important. It can spot your mistakes and then give you feedback on how to pronounce the sounds correctly, how to do word stress, or even intonation across a phrase. Now, I don't know any other app that does it at all 3 levels, and it does it very accurately. What's more, it doesn't just say if you're right or wrong, it compares you to a native speaker and tells you how close you're getting to that. Now, it's with an American model, right? But as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't really matter. For 99% of the students, it doesn't matter if it's British or American, right, for your model. So it's great. I have been in touch with the company ELSA, I've spoken to them, and great, they have sponsored this video, which is fantastic. Thank you so much, guys, for sponsoring it. But more importantly, I really want to tell you why I think this is a good app and show you how it can help you. I talked about technology, right? But let me talk about pedagogy. Now, Keith, what's pedagogy? Well, if you're a teacher, you'll know, right? Pedagogy is the teaching method. And ELSA has a very, very strong teaching method, right? It gives you a custom-made journey. It gives you a system of learning so that you're following a path in a logical direction, right? It begins giving you a level test. So it gives you a custom-made journey based on your level and your needs, which is the perfect start. When you practice, it begins at the sound and the word level. Then it develops into phrases, and then it pushes you into conversations. You're practicing whole conversations, right? Which is brilliant. So the context is so rich. They have, I think, over 1,600 different lessons in the app, and they're continually updating and adding new stuff. So the pedagogy is great. And I've noticed, right, I did the 7-day trial, that over the 7 days, pretending to be a student, I was not just developing pronunciation, but also building vocabulary and fluency, because all of that practice is connected. So let's have a look at what ELSA's got. First of all, we can start practicing sounds, well, at the sound level, as I mentioned. And this is the great thing, right? The pedagogy is great. We can look at linking sounds. We can practice ending sounds, the p, t, k. We can also do all the different difficult sounds, the th and the the. We can look at consonant clusters, intonation, all the different pronunciation features. Let's have a look. Let's try linking sounds.
Some of.
Some of. Yay, sound like a native speaker.
Some of them are here.
Some of them are here. Great. Notice that this has got a more American accent, but it still picks up the British accent.
Please come in.
Now let's do it differently. Please come in. It says try again. Link these 2 words together.
Link these 2 words together without stopping.
Let's try again. Please come in. Fantastic. And it gives you, if you press the word, it gives you feedback on each sound in that word, right? Brilliant. All of them excellent. That's nice. So these are linking sounds. IELTS practice. Let's try this, right? We can practice part 1, 2, or 3. We can even change which band I'm at. Let's try part 1, work and studies. Lesson 1, again, we're practicing individual sounds. Lesson 2 is the conversation. Let's try that.
Do you work or study?
Then I get an answer and I can listen first before
I'm working now. I graduated from college last year.
I'm working now. I graduated from college last year. Excellent. That's great. And as I mentioned, right, I really like ELSA because it has a strong focus on context. So many of the lessons are structured within topics, right? And you can see here, I mean, these are real life topics like small talk, work and career, holidays, relationships, even IELTS. IELTS Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3, right? If you have a look in the IELTS Part 2, you can see here the typical topics you're going to get. And you'll be taken through the conversations and working on your pronunciation for all of your answers. Great. So that's ELSA. A big thank you again to ELSA for sponsoring. And guys, you can download the app for free and you can get a free 7-day trial to give it a go. Find out if it works for you. I promise you, you're going to be impressed, right? ELSA, because they're sponsoring, are giving you some really nice discounts as well. If you click on the links below to download and to sign up, you will get discounts. You'll get 30% off the 1-year plan and a whopping 80%, really? 80% on the lifetime purchase. And then you've got ELSA for your lifetime. It's great value. It's really good. It's one of the few apps I do endorse and recommend. Do check the links below. So that's it. Great. I hope that today you've understood not only about ELSA, but about the role of accent in IELTS speaking, and to understand it doesn't matter, right? What's important is your pronunciation. So be proud of your local accent. Be proud and work on your pronunciation to get it better and better so that you can be a successful IELTS speaker. Thanks for watching. Please remember, do subscribe, turn on notifications to find out about upcoming videos, more ideas to help you be successful in your IELTS speaking test. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.